Behind the Counter is sponsored by
Hover.com. Domain names made simple. Go to gfq.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. And by Stitcher Radio. Listen on the go via the Stitcher mobile app. For more information, go to stitcher.com/GFQ.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rich Stambolian, and with me is Jonathan Adler. We're going to talk about some comics. This is Behind the Counter. Welcome once again. This beautiful Thursday night in this fine city of ours.
Oregon.
Huh?
We're in Oregon.
We're in Oregon. This week, Oregon. Next week, Dubai.
We did Dubai already. We're doing Marrakesh next week.
We did Qatar.
Oh, we did Qatar. That's right. We did. They look the same to me. We're gonna do. The hotels look the same. The studios always look the same. Not talking about the people.
I love the racism.
I love Libya.
No, man.
Allah Akbar, people.
We'll get. He was in Star Wars. Oh, as Admiral Akbar.
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, this is not a political show.
And it's very much a political show, just underneath the the level. We're always talking politics.
The subplot.
We're not big fans of the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. We're a big fan of the Pizza Party.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's a teacher in the church joke.
That's on the next. That's on the next business card.
No problem. Co-signed.
Beautiful. We got to get new business cards. The old ones still say Friday on them.
I'm still. Did you get anything from? Yeah. Cool. That's what I like to hear.
Did you get
silence?
Yeah? Did you get anything from the Comic-Con? For me?
No.
For me though.
For him?
Wait, for you? Why you?
Because I'm having everything sent to your house.
Oh, nothing in the mail, no.
Okay.
But you heard about my thing. You got my notification.
Then
why are you shaking your head? Yes.
Because I got an email from them telling me I didn't complete my registration properly.
What a wanger.
Oh. Well, I gave them all your contact information, so they should be getting to you soon,
Yeah,
I hope.
Yeah.
God,
Because 14th is like the cutoff for it.
Who checks your mail in your house?
Tomorrow's a cutoff?
Yeah. For like the press passes and stuff like that.
Yeah, who checks the mail here?
This
Me.
guy.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing in the mail for you.
No, you'll get an email from them probably.
It's gonna be in like a plain envelope.
Okay.
And
with a black seal with a hand on the back. and inside is a goat's ear.
Wax seal. The goat's ear actually belongs to David Finch.
Ooh.
No.
He does have goat ears.
Yeah.
Bah.
Comical.
Boy. Did you realize on I keep on meaning to tell this to you. On Sons of Anarchy, you know the big fat guy?
Oh, he's awesome. He's the worst. He's the worst.
Yeah, he's the worst. He is. I'm waiting for him to get a bullet through his brain.
I think he's dying this season.
Does he look like Guillermo del Toro?
He does. He does. He does. Hey, mate, let me talk to the cartel.
I can speak their language.
Hey, man. Mexican.
Hey, no. Don't tell us that we're DE agents, man. Don't tell anybody else about that.
I was telling you the other day, for those who, I'm assuming if you like comics, you probably watch Sons of Anarchy.
It's a good assumption.
You know, you have like Hellboy on it and Charlie Human.
Charlie Human.
If, like this, you have Jimmy Smits, you have the guy from The Shield.
Who Jimmy Smits is very good on the show.
He was really good on the show.
Very likable.
Finally played a different character than the character he always plays.
A Latino pimp instead of a Latino cop?
Yeah.
Or a Latino lawyer?
It's true. Or Bail Organa.
He did not play Bail Organa. He just played a guy with a robe on.
She's my daughter. So you have Jimmy Smits, you have Danny Trejo, you have Benito Martinez from The Shield. All it's missing is Almost. Edward James Olmos.
You know the guy's name? It's Benito Martinez?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
He was I got to keep up, man.
I know.
Spanish actors.
Yeah, follow those guys. Part of the union.
Nobody to look up to.
Yeah, that's true.
Looking up to Banderas, man.
You got Calculus.
If he comes on, man, that would be if he was the actual leader of the real cartel.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I want to see a scene with him, his messed up face versus Ron Perlman's messed up face.
He looks terrible.
Did you notice that his eyebrows are the tiniest eyebrows on earth?
I do it. They look like they're like he's got like prosthetic like brow on, and just like, you know what? Just give him like a smidgen of eyebrow, a little bit of eyebrow.
I had the Hellboy makeup, but they painted it white.
I like
to match my skin tone.
And there was a good Spider-Man reference in on the episode too.
Very redemptive Spider-Man reference.
I really thought I really think it's all downhill from here because that was a very solid episode.
It was good. I want to see what happens. For this is gonna be the Sons of Anarchy spoiler episode. If you haven't watched it, too bad. Go watch it. But like when they killed Tig's daughter in front of him.
Wow.
Pretty brutal, but also like his reaction was a little comical. It was almost like. It was almost like the guy who like the longest cry.
Yeah. Oh, my daughter's on fire.
And it was Michael from Lost.
I kill babies now.
It was Michael from Lost who looked like what's his name from The Time.
Oh yeah, it does look like
Morris Day.
Morris Day.
Yeah.
It does look Morris Day for the time.
Yeah. They
the haircut and everything.
They could have just gotten Morris Day because it looked like a bad wig. It was like a bad flat top and
Beat
a bad
him
mustache. Put him in the ground.
Throw him in the ground.
Yeah.
I'm too close to these problems. Augustus, take him out. Cut his arms off.
And there's something.
I can do Morris Day all day long.
That's great. And then like when he opens the thing and
they just
like,
found my Halloween costume.
Who's the guy they killed? Like Andre 1 or something?
The disposable black guys.
Yeah, no, the leader who they chopped up.
I don't remember his name.
And like he was like, yeah, part of him's in there. It was a good. It was a good episode. Good episode. Still got to catch up with Breaking Bad. I'm getting a lot of Trejo viewing in this week. I watched that Tortuga episode.
Yeah, you are getting a lot.
And
too much for your diet. Your sugar may go up if you take that much Trejo.
I'm actually gonna go home and watch all the Spy Kids movies.
Oh, don't do that to yourself.
He's in them.
Machete 2.
Oh, I can't wait for Machete 2.
I can wait.
Yeah,
I hate the first one.
Really,
dude, it's terrible.
I love that movie.
How you like that movie? There's nothing good about that movie.
I watched that movie 3 times.
That's terrible.
And once on a plane.
Can't even leave.
On my phone, not like on the plane.
I saw it in the theater, and I didn't see it in the best mindset, and I hate it. I wanted to walk out. I was like, I can't believe I spent full price on this.
Watch it again, man.
I have watched it again. It's just as terrible.
He's leading. You know what he's leading up to, right?
What?
The third one, Machete in Space. That's from Rodriguez's
Is he
mouth.
really doing that?
He was like, this one's gonna be like completely bananas.
He'll fight the Predators.
And then he already did. He died. and Machete in Space.
A lot of mummies.
I would like to see him fight mummies in space.
By the way, the worst movie I ever saw was The Mummy.
It would be amazing, and I would also.
You're the Mummy.
The fourth one, the fourth one. I want to see Machete in Time. Yeah,
Rich, do you remember going to see The Mummy and we walked out of the movie theater?
I don't think I was there.
Yeah, you were.
No,
you were.
I don't remember that.
Yo, you guys said The Mummy?
Yeah, we did.
I remember when we were kids, we tried to sit through the first Rush Hour movie, and one of the people we were with,
that's what it
was very, very, very loud, and
yes,
I almost choked her.
Yes, I thought it was The Mummy.
No, it wasn't The Mummy. It was.
It's just the same thing.
It was
Chris Tucker and a mummy, same thing.
It was Rush Hour.
We walked out of the movie though.
Oh, you're the Mummy.
Yeah, it was terrible. I was at the Quad, the Bayside Quad.
Yeah,
at the Faces. At Faces, the Faces movie theater.
Faces,
the one that used to have the Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi.
Yes.
The one on Horace Harding.
No. The Quad, the one on Bell, right on Bell.
Oh, the one that doesn't exist anymore. That's a shoe store.
Yeah, but they kept the awning
and a barber shop.
Yeah.
Good
choices.
I think it's like a gay club at night though.
So tie him up.
Chop him up.
Chop him up. I'm too close to this problem.
We do watch things that are not comic related.
A lot.
But what's funny is that you can do a 6 degrees of comic book separation with anything you watch now.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like
they're all tied to Ghost Rider.
Everything's sadly tied to Ghost Rider. Everything's tied to everything. You know, like Cranston. I don't think was ever in a comic book movie, but he should be. Cranston, my Lex Luthor.
Who?
Cranston, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Phenomenal Lex. He would be a phenomenal Lex Luthor.
Yeah, he would. I think he'd be amazing at anything.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a great villain.
Foggy Nelson.
I like to see him as Foggy Nelson. You too foggy. Next week is going to be hosted by Morris Day.
Are you going to do
I might do it. Yeah. I think I just figured out my costume.
Oh, man.
If I can get like a leopard skin jacket with the shoulder pads, I'll learn the one song they did. And yo. Yeah, I'll do that.
Also, a little John and Rich news. We were supposed to appear on Between the Pages on Saturday in broadcast from Canada, but we will be appearing on that show towards the end of the month, I believe.
Yes.
So if you guys are watching, thank you for the invite. And sorry, stuff doesn't work out. It was good though because I told the guy like it was raining like a mother that day.
It was like a mother.
Yeah, it was like a torrential downpour.
It's raining out. Can't be going outside with my makeup on.
So, comic news.
Oh, comic news. Yeah, a bunch of garbage coming your way.
Oh, yeah.
Hot garbage. What do we got? Got a couple of Marvel announcements. I was thinking about this today when I was putting this together. We don't do a lot of DC news because there is no DC news.
No.
It's usually stuff like someone leaving a book, which I'll talk about in a little bit, too.
And that's usually good news.
We've got the announcement of the new Thunderbolts by Daniel Way and can't remember. The team consists of Red Hulk being the leader. It's his basically his Black Ops team. Punisher, Deadpool, Elektra, and Red Hulk.
Okay. And
other characters be announced too. Very strange team.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
You know what? I've liked almost every single Thunderbolt iteration.
They make them work.
Yeah, I think the only one that doesn't work is Punisher because it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of Gruka's run, they're doing this Punisher War thing that he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to end up getting arrested, and they're going to force him to
be on the raft.
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's always, there's always room to do endless Punisher getting arrested stories.
Oh hell yeah! And they've made the dark Punisher, like the Garth Ennis era Punisher, work in the vein of the Marvel superheroes. With, what they've been doing with Greg Rucka's run.
Mm-hmm. No more white gloves for that guy.
No more white gloves. Red skull in his chest. What else we got? We've got it was Daniel Way and Steve Dillon. How can I forget Steve Dillon?
That's a guy such a great team.
That is a really good team. They've worked before with especially with the Deadpool factor.
Yeah, I believe they did Dakin.
Yeah,
and they did that Bullseye miniseries, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and the Wolverine Origins when they first worked together for Deadpool.
Yes.
What do we got? Looks like someone's gonna die in the Thor 2 movie. Take your bets.
Sif.
I'm going with Odin.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think he wants to work in that movie anymore.
Okay. I made a mistake.
And also, they're saying that there's going to be a surprise appearance of another Marvel character in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's looking like Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Because they premiered Hawkeye in the last Thor movie, and they're probably going to premiere another one in this one. And the odds-on favorite for Doctor Strange is going to be Viggo Mortensen.
Okay, I'm down with that. I'm completely down with
and that's
that.
something I still am really sold on my Adrian Brody Doctor Strange.
He's a little too young, I think.
I know. Yeah, they're going for a more aged, line for him. But I think Viggo works for almost anything. That guy he's really great. I'm looking forward to that.
Here's the thing about Doctor Strange, though. When you look at him, you think he has an accent, but he
doesn't.
Shouldn't. He should have like a New York accent.
Absolutely.
That guy's from the West Village.
He is.
Well, East Village.
Don't you talk to me that way with that magic.
That's I am Agamotto.
Look at my gloves.
I'd like that cameo. I think if Viggo nailed it and didn't do it as super Euro,
he's gonna do it Euro. You know he's gonna. Dr. Strange, he's gonna do it Euro.
And then they're gonna do. They're gonna give him the handlebar or just go goatee.
They're going goatee.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I try. I think when anyone casts Doctor Strange, they always think immediately of mustache, and you start thinking of people who already have mustache. I think Tom Selleck has been odds-on favorite for like the last 20 years. You are going to be Doctor Strange.
I am.
What else we got? We've got some stuff from today. Jim Lee is leaving Justice League, which you've talked about before.
Aww.
It's going to be he's going to be replaced by Ivan Reis.
Great.
Which is a much better choice. I think the book is going to improve. We've also got another new Marvel book, Avengers Arena.
Okay.
Which is a spiritual successor to all the young stuff they've been reading. The cover is very reminiscent of Battle Royale, the movie that inspired the Hunger Games that no one wants to talk about. We're looking at a weirdo team of a lot of the Avengers Academy characters, Hazmat, Metal, Reptile. Then we got Darkhawk, some other weird characters. And it's going to be a lot. It's like 17 characters, and they said a ton of them are going to die. A couple of Nico and Chase from Runaways.
Trim the fat. That's what I want to see.
I like all these characters, though. I don't want to see any of them die. X-23.
Put Maggot on the team and kill him.
That'd be good. I think Maggot's dead already, though.
Yeah?
I think so. Not in Ultimate World. The Ultimate comic is
Yeah.
You're not back.
I have not caught up with Ultimate X-Men.
Rocking.
I lost it maybe 5 or 6 issues ago.
Rocking book.
I know because it led into that whole new, but Bonzo story that they're doing now, which I'm not a big fan of.
Which one?
The where America's the Civil War.
I like
thing.
it.
I'm not big on it. I think it's Captain America's costume that's kind of killing it for me.
I do not like that costume. It looks like a tank.
Yeah.
It's a Transformer.
Mm-hmm.
But that comic is very, very solid. It's a weird book.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like an X-Men book. It's really rocking though. I get excited for that book actually, which is weird. Apparently, Miracle Man may be coming back sooner than we think.
For real?
Yeah.
Under what banner?
Marvel.
Okay.
They just lodged a new trademark claim on Miracle Man.
Okay.
Which I'm surprised at because I think they thought they were gonna go for Marvel Man.
Yeah.
But Miracle Man sounds like such a cooler name.
It does.
So that's happening.
I want to see some good creative on that.
They have to. They can't go half-assed with this.
You got to go gaming. I would say try to get gaming. Give them a lot of money.
Yeah.
Have them do it again.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Straczynski's probably gonna be the go-to.
Do I want that?
Maybe.
I don't know if I want that. Well, you know what? He's been showing up very well in Watchmen.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's who I'd go for. I think I'd go with your favorite, Cullen Bunn.
No, thanks. Sorry, I know he's a really sweet guy. We met him a couple of times, but
his Marvel work is not doing very well.
It's kind of letting me down a little bit. But it's interesting. I read an article about how he's a really big rising star right now because of Sixth Gun.
Yeah. I read that article too.
Which is cool, but his Marvel stuff just really it's weird.
He's a filler guy.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's too late 90s for me.
It is. You know what I think his deal is? I think he's a guy who can write very quickly.
Yes.
And he gets thrown on a lot of books because, he's overlapping with a lot of people. Like he overlapped with the Venom and now he's taking over Venom. He's doing the same thing for Captain America until Captain America gets relaunched.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame. I like that guy.
Yeah.
Finally, they also are looking to re-release the Ant-Man footage that they showed at Comic-Con.
Beautiful.
For a wide release. They're going to try and, trim it up a little bit and so they can actually show it somewhere. They don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to inject it into a movie or something like that. It'll probably show up on the internet soon.
That's cool.
So we're looking forward to that.
Cool with that. Down with that.
Down with that.
I think that's kind of a slow news week, right?
It is a very slow news week. There's not a lot going on. It's just kind of we're kind of in a weird place where it's when the fall rolls around, we're waiting for the big crossovers to end.
Yeah.
Usually DC has something going on too, but they got nothing going on.
Zero issues.
Yeah, the zero issues are the only thing that's really the next step they're going in. It gives them a chance to kind of push stories forward. We're going to talk a little about that later.
Yeah.
Marvel is just wrapping up Avengers VS X-Men, which we're going to talk about as well. That's going to be the new palate cleanser when it comes to Marvel, and there's going to be a lot of there's a lot of news stories coming out of that.
Yeah. We'll get to that later. There was a giant few moments in this week's issue of books. This was a big old stack of books this week, but a lot of it was filler.
Yes,
this
absolutely.
I know you read more of the zero issues, but I read a couple. I read the 2 Batman ones, and it just I lost my mind.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't pick up on that thing that you told me about.
Yeah.
Thing that gets me most excited these weeks, honestly, aside from the big stuff, your Avengers X-Men and all that stuff. So funny.
I know what you're gonna say.
What?
Masters of the Universe.
You know what? I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm gonna say it. Masters of the Universe digital comic download for DC Comics online. Amazing. Best thing right now that DC is publishing. That book is rocking. They did a story about Evil Lynn last week. It's black and white noir type of thing with a thief and all. Oh, that book is solid. It is you read it every week. It's a standalone issue. It's always focusing on character. You're always like, holy crap. How is this so goddamn good? There is no way that a Masters of the Universe comic book should be this good. They did a story about the king. King Randor, before he was a king, where he was a soldier and he was a prince and he was working with one of the man-at-arms dudes, and he's like, I gotta take care of my people. It's his narrative, and then he gets over to this one area where a zombie plague opened up, and he's like, I have to save them, and then he ends up killing all of them and cutting the bridge down, and I have to sacrifice my people. Wow. This is what a king does. It's hardcore.
Wow.
It is so good. Matt Costas writes a bunch of issues. Jeff Johns wrote the zero issue. It is rocking, dude.
I apologize for cutting you off.
Sleeping.
What were you going to say?
Valiant Comics, man.
Okay. I've been sleeping on that, man. Big time.
Bloodshot, rocking. Harbinger, rocking.
EXO
is amazing.
Yeah.
EXO took, what it is? They're taking their sweet ass time with it.
Mm-hmm.
EXO, they took 3 issues for them to actually put him in the armor.
Mm-hmm.
They did the whole Viking thing, the Roman gladiators, and him being like a Nord, and then they went into the space thing, a whole issue dedicated to them being slaves, and then they put him in the armor. The art is beautiful. You have Fred Van Lente doing it. I think John Accardi is on it. A lot of good names, beautiful. Archer and Armstrong is out of this world. Yeah. They're all solid.
I gotta pick all these up, man. I know I have like a few here and there, but like every time I see them, like I feel like I should grab them, but my stack is always too big.
They're so good. They're really, really amazing books.
I missed out on a book this week too that I should have grabbed. The Creep.
I just got it.
Yeah,
at the recommendation of Adam.
Did you? Yeah, because he was the one who took my copy.
Yeah, he. I asked if that's an autobiography about himself. Zing.
It's a good one.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a good. They're all really solid books.
Yeah.
The stuff nowadays is just kind of meandering. Like I feel like Avengers vs X-Men, as much as I like it, has been going on for way too long.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's like it's 12 issues, but it's over a 6 months period of time. Yeah. It's still like wow.
They're not you know what kind of makes it even worse. Like they're not doing like super tie-ins with it like they usually do with the big crossovers. Like you're not seeing like your front lines Avengers X-Men, which I'm really surprised they didn't do.
Well, they did AVX instead.
Yeah, they have like the Versus book, and you have the tie-ins with the X-Men stuff, and obviously the Avengers stuff. But I feel like when you read them all together, like this week, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You had New Avengers, you had Uncanny, and you had Avengers vs. X-Men. I'm sure there's a couple more thrown in there for good measure. But
I think you got them all.
From going from Avengers vs. X-Men number 11 to reading Uncanny X-Men, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I don't want to. I feel like I think what loses me is the fact that a lot of it is it's well written, but a lot of the visuals is Cyclops flaming up and him talking.
Yeah.
And it loses me. Like, I get lost in the orange on each page with, like, the Phoenix.
It is a lot of fire drawing for the most part. I mean, like, I did like the Uncanny X-Men tie-in they had this week.
Yeah. It was good.
It does give you a little, different perspective on it, but it's a lot, especially with the Avengers stuff. You kind of like... Yeah, you know what it is? I think we're all just ready for the next step.
I think let it happen.
Yeah, it's like you want to see who dies, you want to move on.
Mm-hmm. And also with the reveal in this week's issue, I'll just say it. I don't know why I'm holding back.
Yeah, why don't we just go into the book?
Avengers X-Men 11 this week came out this week, and the big reveal was that Cyclops becomes Dark Phoenix, which you kind of saw coming a mile away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I like the big news moment was that he kills Professor X.
Yeah,
but I don't think he does. I don't think he kills him.
I think he killed him.
I think he just like knocked him out.
You know what it is? Just the Professor X thing doesn't have any weight to it anymore.
No.
I mean, in terms of the storyline and everything, it really works out. I mean, it's the death of the dream, killed by his prodigal son.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like it's a good solid thing. I liked a little bit in the beginning with the Hulk.
Yes.
Like, I will smash for you.
Yeah.
It sounds so filthy.
It does. But is it whenever they do that, it makes me like, is he back to being a savage again, or is he just messing around?
Someone was talking. They were talking about that. They did a post-mortem with Tom Brevoort, and he's like, because in the last few issues of Hulk, he's been smart Hulk.
Yeah.
Like World War Hulk type Hulk, which we kind of like really dig on. It's like, does that mean he's gonna revert to Savage Hulk after this? And he's like, wait and see. We'll worry about the continuity later.
That's cool.
It's always fun.
It's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool, bro. But the issue was great. I like the bit with when Professor X shows up and he's talking to Cyclops and he's like, you're using this to distract me, and then all of a sudden you see like all the Avengers and all the X-Men surrounding Cyclops, and Emma Frost is a bitch in this.
Oh yeah.
She's a monster. Like, you want to eat my face, don't you? She's like, I want to eat your face.
Was it that issue or was it the Uncanny X-Men where she was like, I totally did it with Namor?
Oh, there was Uncanny X-Men. She's like, oh, you know how salty his skin is? I was like, can you stop doing this? We're having dinner right now. I'm also eating human flesh.
It's freaking mine dinner.
And she fed him a steak with human blood on it.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, you're the good guys.
What the hell's wrong with her?
They got the Phoenix in them. They're horrible people. Emma Frost, I think, got the worst of it all.
She did.
She got like the vileness of it.
But I like how they went through.
Do you like putting babies on your feet? Because I like putting babies on my feet as shoes.
They went through. I like the fact that they went through all of them, saying like, well, like they had the power, now they're okay, and this guy had the power, now he's okay, and then they get to Colossus, and he's just like, and his sister's like crazy, and he's like, you're insane, and she's like, oh, I'm glad you noticed, and he's like,
there are no snowflakes in hell.
And like Namor is just, I really thought that this is gonna also lead up to like Namor biting it, but I think it's gonna make him a bad guy.
No, I'm glad that they did the new Avengers thing, that they actually addressed what's happening to these guys after they get like knocked out.
Yeah,
that they actually are not dead. Because if you didn't read this one tie-in, you can assume like, all right, all the people who are not Phoenix anymore are dead.
Yeah. It did look like he killed Emma Frost, though. It looked like he snuffed her out.
I thought he killed. I thought Magneto died. I thought Emma Frost died. There's a lot of like, because the death is coming in this issue. There's a lot of like, no, that dude's dead.
You know what?
Everybody's dead.
I find the way that they've written Magneto in the series very interesting. He's almost comical because it's a lot of people going like, he sounds like you, and he's like, oh, no. And then like Cyclops is like, except I win.
I'm the winner.
I'm not good at this. Clearly, I'm not good at this.
Yeah, but like it's. I know a lot of people are hemming and hawing about Cyclops' development through this.
Yeah.
Listen, if you get the Phoenix power, you're gonna turn into a bad guy. That goes without saying. I've never seen anyone very good on the Phoenix. But I think they've done I think it's a great arc of watching him kind of like go through the motions of seeing him kind of get corrupted and like before this becoming the leader and Schism and all this stuff. I think it's some of the best stuff I've seen from Cyclops. I've said that before too.
Well, I like the thing with him is that like up until the very end, which is this issue basically until he gets taken over by the Dark Phoenix, it's like he is completely glued to the fact that he thinks he's right. He's like, I'm helping everybody. This is the way it's gonna be. I'm gonna remake the world in a good way. And then all of a sudden, like he loses it, and the Dark Phoenix takes over. Do you think the final panel of the next issue is gonna be Jean's grave and his grave side by side, or do you think there's a possibility that after all is said and done, Cyclops gets killed or banished or whatever, Jean Grey's going to show up again? Do you think this is going to be a reintroduction to Jean Grey, or in the future them showing up together possibly?
Maybe. I think they're not going to do one of these typical endings of punch him as hard as possible until we beat the Phoenix type of thing. I do think that he is somehow going to get mind wiped. Okay. I think he's gonna be alive after this. He's gonna have to live with it because, like I said, there's more than likely showing up as a bad guy in Red Skull's team in Uncanny Avengers.
Okay.
With the Phoenix like locked inside him, so it can't go to somebody else. I think Jean Grey is gonna have some type of impact on this. I think she has to at this point. With like the new Jean Grey coming back, and the old Jean Grey coming back, and the all new X-Men. And like, you're doing a Phoenix story, and you're having like the death of Professor X and like the whatever happened to Cyclops. I think you have to get to a Jean part in this without a doubt. Like I think that she has to show up in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Well, he did summon her like in one of the extra parts in the AR stuff, the extra stuff they have for Avengers vs X-Men if you use your iPhone on it, where he actually goes to the moon and he summons like the ashes of Jean Grey and she basically tells him you're a psychopath. That was nice.
I loved you. Now, question, not question, but like, I don't know why that just popped in my head. When Magneto brought back the rocket ship that had Kitty Pryde in it, what happened to the ship?
In space.
You think they're gonna put Cyclops inside it and then send it off?
Well, it's a bullet. You can't really put anyone in that thing.
Well,
you can phase him in.
Trap him in there.
Yeah.
It's the only feasible way to do it.
Maybe.
Beyond is gonna come back.
Oh, that'd be great.
I really thought the
that's your Halloween costume. Beyonder.
I thought probably the same voice as Morris Day also.
What you messing with my universe for?
I didn't think it was gonna be the Hulk but it was the desert, so that was like a giveaway in the first couple issues.
I didn't think of it either.
I was like, who's this gonna be?
I thought they were like messing up and they were introducing Professor X. Like, you just did this.
Hey,
this last issue.
Shine it up. I was hoping for like a big stunt, kind of like, listen, we know, you don't want to have anything to do with anybody, but, we need your help. And it was like the Watcher or somebody. Or maybe like a bad guy.
Another Wolverine.
Doom.
That'd be cool. I like when Doom joins the good guys.
Yeah.
Like, bah, I'll work with you.
Because he's the last resort, and he's like, I knew you'd come to me. I could fix everything.
I got the best armor.
I told you I could fix everything. Those calculations were right. I want that thrown into read those calculations were right. You made my machine blow up.
You're a fool. Douchebag.
But it was like the wrap up is a couple of weeks, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that. But if this issue was really good, I feel like the last issue has to be like the redemption for the flaws in the storyline.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so. It's had its real ups and downs. It's been a very uneven storyline.
Yeah. But again, I like the fact that they kind of kept it cohesive and didn't make you buy 87,000
They didn't
books.
go. And you know what? The books that did come out that were tie-ins were not just filler. Like for the most part, like you got that. Like the Wolverine X-Men stuff has been really good. Like Colossus Date and all that stuff has been really good. The Uncanny with Sinister was good. You get some good stuff in there.
The new Avengers stuff is really good. The training and all that, and like the regular Avengers book too.
Yeah, there's been good stuff aside from the Simpsons art.
Yeah. Apart from that stuff, it was because we had like the cosmic thing and like Secret Avengers when they had like a couple of tie-ins was also really good. But it's wrapping up, and then it's going to be Marvel Now.
And not
then,
yesterday, but now.
I think they announced you were talking besides the books that you were talking about. I think they announced a couple of more, right?
They're teasing a few other books that are supposed to be revealed by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't remember who. He's freaking out.
Why are you freaking out?
He's freaking out. Push the buttons.
Were you about to spin on your? All right.
Yeah.
So, what else we got? What do we want to talk about the books? You want to talk about that Batman thing that I was going crazy about?
Yeah.
So, I flipped out to the point where I yelled at my fiance about it last night. She's like,
"Why are you yelling at me?"
She's like at home.
I'm not Batman.
Why aren't you Batman? She's at home doing work, and I read Batman and Robin Zero first. Right?
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. It was like Avengers X-Men, and then it was like, all right, I'm gonna get through all these books, whatever. So Batman and Robin was the first one. Great issue, right?
Yeah, it was a really good issue.
It's centered on Damian,
as it always does. That book is Damian's book.
It's a really excellently well written book, taking a lot from the Grant Morrison stuff. It's
directly
from the Grant Morrison stuff, and it starts out with Damian being born. He was a test tube baby. Gets dipped into the Lazarus pit, survives the Lazarus pit. He's chewing handmaidens' boobs off apparently because
that's right, I forgot about that.
The Lazarus pit, and then and it goes every one of Damian's birthdays. So he has to beat Talia al Ghul in a duel to find out who his father is. Right now, he's 10 years old. It takes 10 years for him to do this.
Before that, they tell him about the part that the very beginning of it.
Right at one point.
When he's very young.
There's a chest in front of Talia's bed, and it's kind of a little dopey. It was open with a little flap of fabric hanging out because she's
not very secretive.
She may be a world conquering maniac, but she's not very tidy.
Not very good hiding the Christmas presents.
Yeah, so it's like a little bit of blue material hanging out of like this chest, and he opens it, and he's talking about his dad or whatever, and he puts on Batman's cowl, which I assume he left there because he did like a naked walk of shame. Out of Talia al Ghul's tent that night. What did I do? That was probably the first nut he busted since he became Batman. Think about it.
And what a nut it was.
So he puts on the thing and he's like, look at me, mommy, I'm a bat. And then that was
no, you're not.
That was when he was
no, you're not.
So it goes on and he's like, all right, he finally beats her, and then she's like, well, your father's Batman, and he's like, all right, cool. 10 years, right? 10 years old. Batman Talia and Batman conceived him 10 years ago. 10 years ago, right? That's as far as I know. 10 years. You read Batman #0, and it starts out 6 years prior, which is when he comes back from his travels. Not even in a bat suit. Yeah. Just like he's being a marauder in Gotham.
No Batcave.
Yeah, just a
brownstone with some lab stuff in there.
And like a bat and a boomerang.
Not
even a batarang, just a boomerang. And that's when he starts becoming Batman. And then at the 5 years, the 1 year later, which is 5 years in DC time,
right?
With Justice League #1,
the birth of superheroes.
Batman shows up. Justice League #1, technically his first appearance, right? And in this issue was a good issue. They show like the Red Hood gang and all that stuff. In the back of the book, at the same time as he's debuting as Batman, they see like Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, and Tim Drake all see the bat signal, and they're all doing wacky kid stuff.
And they're all the same age.
And they're all like pretty. No, I think Drake's younger.
Yeah, they did say that.
I think Drake and Todd were younger, and Grayson's like older. He's like too old to be like a trapeze kid.
A year old?
Yeah, and it's establishing like that 5-year continuity. I almost had a nervous breakdown.
Well, all right, so let's do the math now. We've got 6 years of the Bat history. Right? 6 established years. So in 2000, not good at math. 2005.
Right.
Is the birth of Batman.
Comes back. No, but yeah, 2006 is when he becomes Batman.
Exactly. So 2005 is when he's, where Batman Zero takes place.
Right.
We've got what? How old do you think the kids are?
I would say Dick Grayson has to be older. He has to be like 19.
Yeah, you think so? I wasn't even say that much. I know he's a full-grown man now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the part that really messes with me.
Yeah.
Because he's a man. Like, the dude is not even like a new young dude.
Yeah.
This guy has been Batman, has been Nightwing for a great number of years.
Which they've acknowledged.
Yeah. That he's been Batman. Yeah. You've gone through R.I.P.
Yeah.
Batman's been dead, Reborn, Final Crisis, Black Lanterns, all that stuff within the 6 years period. You've got the passage of time for Tim Drake. They don't even know if he's a Robin at this point. Right. If he's ever been Robin, they might have written that out from continuity. Jason Todd has been Jason Todd, dead, reborn.
Right.
Tim Drake, Dick Grayson, Robin, Nightwing, Batman, Nightwing.
5 years.
5 years.
Right.
Also, there's the Damian thing. Now, we've talked about this before. There is a time speed up of some sort with him. So maybe he skipped over 3-4 years. Maybe.
I don't think so, because each panel was.
I know. Well, I looked back at it, and so the birthdays. There's at least 7 birthdays.
Right.
On that thing. So that's 7 years.
Even still,
does not make any sense. That means that regardless of the time speed up or anything, it doesn't make any sense that this dude was Batman doing Batman stuff for a while for him to get noticed by Ra's al Ghul, hang back, and for her to have admiration for him.
Exactly. He had to have been the world's greatest detective in order to consummate that relationship.
He needed some rep at that point.
Yeah, he wasn't just like a millionaire playboy training to figure out what to do with his life.
No one's talking about this.
Yeah.
And like you're the only one that really brought this up. Like in all the reviews and anything.
It bothers me.
No, because it drives me insane too. Like it doesn't make any sense because all right, so you're starting from scratch. You're starting this new universe. You didn't touch the Batman universe for what we know.
Right.
You've made slight tweaks. Green Lantern is pretty much untouched as well. Yeah. But this is where you run into problems.
Right.
You cannot the worst thing they could have done was one of the worst things. There's plenty of things they've done wrong, but one of the worst things they could have done was the 6-year thing, the 5-year thing.
Make it 10. It would have been perfect.
Just don't even say it. Just say years ago. Just put some unquantifiable time, like the same
blanket.
Yeah, just like what they do with how Marvel is constantly moving their continuity up.
Yeah.
You weren't in, World War II. You were in, Vietnam. Now you're not Vietnam. You're in the Korean War.
First Gulf War.
Yeah, they just
always move it up.
They're always mess around with it. So this really, by putting a timestamp on it, and you're addressing a few years back at the beginning of time, you really you're compounding all this stuff in a really weird manner, and this really messes with it. The Damian thing really throws everything off.
But you can't get rid of Damian. You can't write Damian out because he's a great character, and also it's. I want to say it was an issue of Batman and Robin where they look at the chart of Batman saying this is all the stuff we've been through, and they showed stuff pre-relaunch, and it was the what's his name, the fake Thomas Wayne, all the Grant Morrison stuff. They touched on that, and it's it's mind-boggling. How could you have, especially with Dick Grayson, is he a 19-year-old trapeze artist, and then 5 years later he's 24 years old?
Yes,
he's been Batman.
Yes.
He's been Nightwing. He's been Batman. He's been Nightwing again.
Yes. Never on Teen Titans.
Never on Teen Titans. Moved out at some point to Bloodhaven. Killed that dude. Came back. Did his thing.
Yep.
Jason Todd. Same thing. His is more easy because it's he was the mess up. He screwed up. Yeah. He was Robin for essentially.
And he's accessory to murder in this one also.
Yes. He was Robin for essentially a year and got blown up. Right. He got blown the F up and came back. Tim Drake is another tough one too. Because
they don't know what to do with Tim Drake.
Yeah.
At first they said he's Robin, and now they're saying that he might have been Red Robin
from the
forever.
Beginning. Right?
Yeah.
It makes zero sense.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Also, here's another thing that blew my mind. I just thought of this too. So in the back of all these Zero issues, they had a little bit where that's a who's who, where they have a little profile of a character.
Yes.
So they had Robin in the back of Batman and Robin, a little profile on Damian Wayne. And first appearance. Like this is stuff you kind of look at as a historian and say like, okay, I want to track down his first appearance. His first appearance in this comic, Batman Robin #1
and Batman Incorporated #1.
Yeah,
right.
Which is like, like I'm looking at this. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. No. Like, so now you're not even acknowledging the books that came out before that. I know in a sense of continuity, it's a new world and anything like that, but
right.
Come on, like how do you? All right, so a kid comes to the comic book store and you go, I really like Damian Wayne. How did he become Robin?
Well,
can I buy that? Can I buy that trade? Can you? Is that his first appearance? Because they don't tell me in the back of Batman Robin #0,
right?
Where are these comics coming from? What are they doing?
Yeah.
What is from an editorial business standpoint? Are you pulping your old stories?
You know what it is. It's I think one of the things that they didn't do, which they did in 1986 with the other soft relaunch that they did. Remember when like they came out Man of Steel and like they kind of relaunched like a handful of books, and like that technically was the first Superman appearance, and then you had Earth 2 right. Superman.
But you had a fresh start,
right,
with all of that stuff.
I feel like in the books they could have done that. They could have said like, modern whatever is his first appearance pre-52. Just call it pre-52.
Yeah.
And have that, and then like if you want to, because it kind of hurts the back issue thing a little bit.
It really hurts the back issue.
And the trade thing too, because nobody the beautiful thing about getting trades from the two major publishers is that whatever trade you pick up for the most part will tie into a major history.
Yeah.
You don't want to pick up a trade of a dead universe, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're buying like, I'm going to buy Batman RIP. I want to see where this goes at. Maybe I'll get the trade after that. Oh, nothing happens. It goes back to kind of this weird thing.
This sucks.
And it goes into like, and like I get like after RIP, you have a little bit more Batman, and then you're basically buying Flashpoint. And
you don't want to buy Flashpoint.
Yeah, so it's just like this weird jumble of nonsense that's kind of happening right now, and like especially when something like this happens, I know I'm not wrong with this.
No, we're not.
Like I know I'm not far off by I got so flustered yesterday. I was like, what are they doing?
You think with all these editorial mandates and everything happening, you think that they'd find a little problem with this? Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this while you were talking, because I don't listen to what you say anymore.
That's cool.
Remember how Jeff Johns kind of like made the Silver Age and the Modern Age kind of work together and kind of fixed a lot of continuity problems. He fixed Hawkman, and he made things work. I think that's what they're going with this thing, and like he's going to be the parachute they use to make all this work all at once.
You can't make it work.
You can't.
I mean, like, no, you can't. You can and you
can't.
You don't think so?
You can't.
You think it's a completely irredeemable?
I think at this point, what they've done with like the Wildstorm thing, and like,
yeah.
I read Team 7, which you didn't read yet.
No.
Team 7 is again 5 years ago.
Right.
So it's no longer like the Black Ops team that started from scratch.
Okay.
Black Canary, leader of the team. Skinny Amanda Waller. Caitlin Fairchild from Gen 13's father. Some guy named John Bronson.
Okay.
Who I think becomes the leader of Cobra, which is now Basilisk.
Pretty good name.
John Bronson. A weird character. Deathstroke. And then like two dudes that are like throwaway characters that wear robot suits later on.
Okay.
What a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
And John Lynch is, like the Nick Fury of this.
Right.
Like he's the one in the shadows. But it's just like, this is what I want. And there's 3 comics out about Team 7.
No Deathblow.
No. That was the thing I was waiting for. I thought John Bronson was like, I forget his name. Like, did I forget like Michael Craig?
Michael Craig, yeah.
And I was like, but no Deathblow. And you think that's a character they'd kind of like want to play with.
Yeah.
Especially Jim Lee.
Yeah.
That was like his great character that he made up after, Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Oh, and Grifter's on the team. That's right.
Oh, big shocker.
Where's Backlash?
No Backlash.
No Backlash. I like that guy.
I think I don't think those guys could show up. I think those are like half owned by Jim Lee and half not owned by Jim Lee. Like Brett Booth, I think, still owns.
It's a good point. I was trying to think of the other guy that definitely signed Backlash.
Yeah.
It was that book. It was Suicide Squad #0 and Deathstroke #0, which
didn't read any of those. I did pick up Suicide Squad,
though. But those are all Team 7 books. They're all about Team 7.
Well, you brought up a great point with saying like how do you tell a kid what's what? Because like even like listening to you and like the more that you mention it, it's kind of like
you glaze over.
So what happens with this guy? And then you're like, well, you can read the George Perez Teen Titans stuff, but it never happened.
Never happened.
You know, or like any pretty much any, like you can read like all this awesome Aquaman stuff and the Daughter of the Deep. That never happened.
You know what? See,
you leaving?
DC went. DC's done this a number of times.
Yeah.
We had the liberty of not directly being affected by Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
We grew up in the thick of it. We had your John Byrne Man of Steel. You had your your new Teen Titans and your new Justice League and the new continuity.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that far off different.
Right.
All they did was just kind of move the timeline forward.
Yeah.
And they never directly said like none of this stuff happened. And at the end of the day, this stuff was good.
Yeah, it was.
It took a while for them to catch up and anything. Yeah. I don't hear anyone waving their flag and saying, this is awesome stuff. Thank you, DC. Thank you for making it harder to understand your comic books.
Yeah, it's
taking all the love out of it.
What I also don't understand is like I know they got like a lot of new readers out of this whole deal, but like they're missing out on continuity. It's great. I feel like this should have been their kids line. Like if they should
have done an ultimate thing.
Yeah, like this could have been their ultimate thing or their kids line. Like Marvel has their kids line, which is like a lot of old stories that are just getting repurposed for kids and like for modern age stuff.
But like, are those new readers gonna be sticking around because Superman's awesome?
I don't think so. Superman's not awesome.
No. I read that Action Comics that you told me to read, and I didn't like it at
all.
I
really liked it.
I didn't like the psychopathic murdering father. That guy does not exist. I'm gonna stab you through Superman's cloak.
No.
I don't find anything likable about this stuff.
Okay. Batman's good.
Green Lantern's good.
Woman, you have
Flash is good.
Books. You have your good books that could take place in regular
Demon
continuity.
Knight. I read Demon Knight Number 0 yesterday. They revealed that Merlin's the son of Lucifer.
Like this guy.
Yeah, well, or like this guy.
Oh, okay.
Because that's who he is.
Yeah.
He's Merlin Demonspawn.
Okay.
Something like that, Demonspawn or something like that. Which is kind of like a cool little, tie to tying those two things in the world.
Yeah.
But it's still a weird book. What else did I read? Resurrection Man Number 0, which is the last issue. Grifter Number 0 came out. Another Team 7 book. That's right. That's another one.
Too much.
4 books about Team 7?
Also, no Oracle, apparently.
No Oracle ever existed.
Yeah, no, Oracle did not. Even though she did get put in a wheelchair, Oracle does not exist, which is also a little stupid. And also, I think that's my brother pointing it out, that if some of this stuff didn't happen, so there was no Man's Land.
Nope.
No like Bruce Wayne Fugitive.
Nope.
Like none of this stuff, but kinda.
But it did happen.
Yeah.
Blackest Night, it did happen, but with none of the characters that you enjoyed.
Right.
Like the entire JSA coming back didn't happen.
No Ranthanagar.
Nope.
No, like
they don't exist.
It's just it's strange. It's strange to me. I want it wrapped up in a neat little package and put away. I want it put in a pocket.
Hawkman's Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Like you understand, like Hawkman.
Yeah.
All the work they put into Hawkman and to make it an awesome, accessible character, they've made him to friggin' Venom.
Yeah. The nth metal. It'll get to you.
Who else is garbage? Firestorm, garbage.
Yeah.
Why did you waste your time? Amethyst coming back, awesome. Thank God.
Teen Titans.
Stupid. Which was a solid book for so long. Jeff Johns put a lot of time and effort into making that book into a modern day hit. It was slowly becoming like the weird X-Men team.
Yep.
Which is always should be.
Mm-hmm.
But what a piece of garbage. Do you want to read Ravagers?
No.
Who wants to read Ravagers?
Not this guy.
Superboy. Do you know what's going on with Superboy? You know who Superboy is?
No. I don't.
You want to know who Superboy is? All right, so we had a good story.
I want to know.
You know who? You remember who Superboy was before?
He was a clone.
Clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. Really awesome storyline. Right. Now, apparently, the Kryptonians made an entire slave unit of clones.
Okay, and they're all him.
And he was pretty much, and like the main leader was a guy named Khan with a K, which meant abomination in Kryptonian. That did a slave revolt, and instead of killing a lot of them, one of them escaped in a one of these test tubes.
Great.
And this guy named Lord Harvest started this thing called Nowhere, which they're developing a new Superboy.
This sounds like it. Like the lead up sounds like you're gonna say, and then so and so showed up, and his name was Darkest Thunder, and he had Wolverine claws. You know, that's where I feel like that's what you're going for. You know?
That's all they got.
This is all it is. Like a 13-year-old is in control of DC Comics right now. It's like that movie where that 13-year-old wins the lottery and buys like a baseball team or whatever.
Yes.
I forgot. I don't know.
$1 Million Baby.
Whatever. I remember seeing the advertisement for that movie.
Yeah.
Like the kid gets a lot of money and he buys a baseball team. Or he buys a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And he like throws money at burglars.
I think it's
and they
like
die or something.
I think lottery ticket or something like that.
Yeah. You know, I feel like that happened.
Like a movie.
Where like some corporate guy's kid was like, I want to run the comics now. Name him. You name that guy Lord Harvest. You name that guy Fistman.
Frostbite.
You name that guy Black Ice.
Ice Truckers.
No Black Lightning.
No Black Lightning. Yo, but you know what? Like the people who are working in DC, the people who are in charge of editorial are Jeff Johns, Dan DiDio, Jim Lee. People who've worked in the business for a very long period of time. You know, Marvel has these summits where you sit around and you like, you know, you get the greatest minds and you know, in writing and like come up with like really good grown up ideas, like adult.
That's that you nailed it. You nailed it.
You know, like really good ideas,
not
like,
adult ideas.
you know, what are we gonna, you know, what facet of a character are we gonna focus on now? You know, we're gonna deal with like Luke Cage dealing with, you know, his problem being a father now, and we're gonna do a cool black joke with Daredevil, and we're gonna, you know,
it was a really cool black joke.
It was, and we're gonna do really like smart storytelling, and then you got like, you know, what we're gonna do with Firestorm? We're gonna make him like Power Rangers, where like there's a bunch of Firestorms, and there's one for every country, and they turn into a big Hulk dude with a skull face.
It's like Captain Planet.
Awesome.
Yeah. Do you think DC Comics now stands for dumb children?
Yes, it does.
This is what I want to know.
Yo, if you're a dumb kid out there, I'm sorry, but you're an idiot if you're reading this book. Like, who wants this stuff? Look how many cancellations they're going through.
You do get fervor from it because, like, I'll go on my Twitter.
Oh boy,
and I'll start like, I guess I don't want to say bad mouthing. I feel like it's presenting the facts. Bad mouthing would be like, oh, but grow up, Bendis. Like, I don't want to hear about Luke Cage's problems.
Yeah,
that's bad mouthing.
Yeah,
you know, and being snarky. But saying like, listen, this is as a 31-year-old man, like your Firestorm is garbage.
Well, it's just like it's common sense. Like I think as a person who reads comics for a very long period of time, you can separate the good and the bad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's personal interest and personal taste, and then there's like actually looking at an entire, you know, line of work and saying like, you know what, this is not the best you can do.
Right.
You know, yes, you don't have the writing caliber that, you know, you used to have because you pissed off a lot of people and you are doing weird stuff in your editorial. But come on, like you have like I think Grant Morrison like was like, screw this. Like, there's no possible way I can work under these conditions anymore.
It's so weird too. Like the irony of it is that I feel like DC needs its own Perry White for like a guy to show up and be like, write comic books. This is what you do. Write some comics.
You can watch the way that Grant Morrison's thought process went, where they started off in the beginning, which really awesome, like year one Superman, you know, doing really cool stuff in jeans and a t-shirt, and then like I guess editorial said like this. Hey, you need to put him into a suit. You need to put him in like his regular Superman suit now. Because like, isn't this the past? It's like, yeah, we do this stuff. Obama, Obama Superman, which I like, but Obama Superman.
Yeah.
Obama base god.
It's weird. What's gonna happen? I mean, like, you know, like the beautiful thing is that, you know, it keeps us in business. We're gonna have always like every week. It hasn't been DC bashing. It's been stating the facts as a reasonable person. Saying like, I don't want to read this stuff. It's stupid, you know.
Yeah, or, just have Professor Zoom show up and just start over again.
Like fix it. Somebody has to show up and say, look, like the ghost of Julius Schwartz has to show up and say like, look, fix this.
Yes.
And that's it, you know. Or like Jeff Johns has to like, you know. I also feel like Jeff Johns has two personalities. You know, he has the awesome Jeff Johns that we know and love on Green Lantern, and he has corporate Jeff Johns. You know, Where they have to, man. And like I feel like the one dude on the DC team who's doing all right is Scott Snyder probably, and like Azzarello, and like there's a few dudes who get like.
I think Azzarello doesn't care.
Like, you know, yeah, like there's a few dudes who get like what they're trying to get out there.
Yeah, Scott Snyder's doing exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah,
you know, the guy gets to put out American Vampire and like sell millions of copies of Batman.
Yeah,
and tell the story exactly the way he wants.
He's playing it very well. You know, very very highly rated, very well written.
And took advantage of, you know, starting from scratch.
Yeah,
and doing a good storyline with it.
That's exactly it. You nailed it. It's the advantage of saying like, look, I have a clean slate, but I'm not going to totally mess everything up. Whereas everybody else is like, we're going to mess everything up. Look what he did. He did two drastic things. He gave
Gordon red hair and gave him a smoking habit back.
Yep,
amazing.
But that's the thing. Like, and they also touch on Gordon's past continuity also with the son, because in his little bio and like the Who's Who thing, they talk about his psychopath son, which is pre garbage.
Pre-garbage. I mean, you can do that with bats. Yeah, I mean that's like you have the strength of like also it's Snyder's Run where you like how are you gonna erase like an Eisner winning thing that happened directly before this? That's just a slap in the hand, slap in the face.
Put Superman back in the suit, make everything better.
Take away the seams.
Have 0 Hour again.
Just have something. Listen, Flashpoint ended with basically Professor Zoom winning, and going away. Just have him show up again. Just like, you know what, this whole thing, this crap, it was a joke.
And I'm Wally West.
Oh, that would be awesome. You brought this up before, right? I would be so happy with that. That would make
It would make it better. It would make it a little. It would make it hurt less, at least.
I think once we get closer to a milestone for Action Detective, we actually maybe start seeing like the cracks in the walls a bit.
Yeah,
we're seeing starting the Superman punches against the universe.
Which I want all of this. I want everything to happen at the same time. I want that S curl to come back and be like, you got screwed up.
He's got no S curl.
No, it's very slick.
Son of a bitch.
All right, we gotta go. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Rich Stambolian.
I'm Woodrow Robot.
Oh, yeah.